Estate agents who are using valuation tools to find more clients. Are you also finding that up to 85% of your leads have entered the incorrect phone number? If this feels familiar to you too, I'm going to suggest you watch this video today so that you understand why this is happening, and I'm going to share with you the simple solution to this common problem. My name is Tina Sandford and I am the founder of estateagentsuccess.com, where we launch and manage UK estate agents, the personalised low-cost video ads that do 95% of the work for you and ensure that you can become the go-to estate agent in your area. Now, if you'd like to join us to see how this works, just type Val below and I'm happy to send the Zoom link over to you for our live event. It's going to be on Thursday at the 11th at 11 a.m. On this live event, we will be sharing in real time how we build this for UK estate agents, just so you can see how this all works. And if you would like this built for you too, we can have that conversation. So we've been talking with estate agents recently who are using valuation tools to find more clients. And some of them have been telling us that they're finding up to 85% of these leads are no longer filling in the correct phone number. So over the next 10 minutes, I want to explain why most estate agents have run into this problem now with their valuation tools, and how our video ad to valuation tool method will help you to get more listings over time, even from those sellers who are reluctant to give you their contact information directly. You know, this is something that you could use today to have more of your seller leads answer your first call, which also gives your staff a much better chance of booking in your market appraisals. So why are we looking at a new video ad method to use with a valuation tool ad? Well, the first thing is, more and more we're finding that people are no longer filling out the valuation tool forms with the correct information. Now, this is usually because they expect to be contacted by a sales-focused estate agent as soon as they enter their details. They are expecting it even before they even go to the valuation tool now. This is not just valuation tool forms, okay? This is with almost all the online forms. Now, usually when we fill an online form, generally expect that we would just receive an email sequence, and that's either going to encourage us to buy a product or it's warming us up first and then the offer comes later, doesn't it? We also know that if we realise we don't want it, we could just unsubscribe immediately. Now, from your perspective, you know with your own valuation tool that if you can speak to a seller on the phone straight away, it's possible to catch those very few people who do need to sell their house very soon. But also the downside is you also have to call everyone who's filled out your form to be able to actually find that 2-3% of sellers who really do need your service right now. Which means you have to call every single lead, including those people who aren't interested in talking to an estate agent. And that's just to find those few people who are interested. And also, you really do need to reach these 2-3% quickly, because if you do not, they're going to find another agent while they're looking for one right now. And you and I both know that there are more than enough to choose from. So over the last year, we've been testing this video ads method both with our own ads, but also with, we've also been doing it with lots of people, but also with 4 different case study agents in the UK who are all at different levels of their journey too. And the most successful of our case studies so far has been an established estate agency who are well known for their lettings, but they weren't getting called out for any market appraisal meetings for their sales. Now, the key to their success was that they have already been established for years in their area, plus they already had over 6,000 leads in their database that we could use to retarget, okay? Now, you might have heard that we used our video ad strategy to help them take their pipeline from 24,000 in February to over 135,000 in June. But what can we do if you don't have at least 6,000 leads in your database or are not really well known in the area yet? Well, this is my suggestion for you. You know, I thought about this often, if not every day, to help my own clients. And I realised after running ads for many estate agents, there is a way that we could position an advert to benefit both homeowners and the estate agents. It would be to help both sides. It would be to help both sides understand who needs a market appraisal over an instant valuation, and why it's important for the seller to pick the right option. Imagine as an estate agent and you have staff, and I've come across this many times, and they know that call's coming through from your valuation tool ad. They know from previous ad calls that it's likely to be a very negative experience for themselves most of the time. Now I want you to ask yourself this instead. Do you think they would be happy to take the call really, really quickly if they know it's a seller who wants their help in moving soon, even if they haven't even decided to work with your estate agency yet, but you know that they want to speak to you? Yeah. Can you imagine the difference of their experience of taking the call from the ads instead of somebody who wants to sell the house? Is somebody who wants to sell the house and who is enthusiastic about speaking to them about it all, and it's because they already know who it is they're speaking to and the reason why they're speaking to them. With our method, this is what will happen. These homeowners will be asking for the call. They will be asking you to call them rather than you just taking a number because you want to get as many leads in as possible. But think about this. When it comes to phone calls, your seller leads are naturally expecting one of two things right now. One, they are expecting to be called by an estate agent and be sold to. Or two, they're not expecting to be called by an estate agent at all. And what this means is, unless they've asked you to call them, you're going to get a negative response from the majority of the leads that you're getting through to right now. Or they won't even give you the right number at all, like they're doing right now. But think about this. How would it feel if you have somebody who wants a call every time rather than someone who doesn't want the call? Can you think about how much easier it'd be for your staff? Do you think your staff will feel like taking the calls from your valuation tool ads? This is not the only reason, but it is one of the biggest problems that we came across when running Facebook ads with lead forms for agencies. No one was keen to take the calls from these ads. No one was, okay? So imagine this instead. Imagine that instead of it just being a photo of your local area perhaps, imagine instead that either you or one of your estate agent staff are explaining to your local sellers on a video exactly what's going to happen when they need the result of a valuation tool, when it would benefit them to have a market appraisal from you, and why you would call them. Tell them about the benefits they get if they ask you to contact them, and what problems you'll be able to help them solve, so that no one feels bad about entering their details. Everyone feels happy about having that call. And then when the few people who really want you to call them, you explain to them that if they leave their details, you will get back to them as soon as possible. So for example, if you're an agency with staff and you know you could take that call straight away, you can tell the people that on the video. And if you're an independent estate agent who works by themselves, you let them know in your video that you are the only person and you manage everything. But imagine being able to explain that in your video, that you would not be able to make the call immediately, but instead you'd be able to call them as soon as possible. And instead you're going to be sending them a text message and an email, and you'd be able to call them within the next 6 hours or something, whatever it is you know you can do. But the point is this: being able to tell somebody as a person in advance so they are aware of what's going to happen in the future is going to build something called allegiance capital. This is what helps people to understand that they're in the right place. They feel better. They feel like they found the person who can actually help them. You're letting them know that you're aware that they need you, and you're also letting them know how long it's going to take before you get to speak to them to help them. So the best thing is there are absolutely no surprises for them at all. This is what helps people to trust you. This is essential, yeah? So this is one of the main reasons why on Thursday, the 11th of July, we're going to show you exactly how you can build this. Daniel's going to go through a step-by-step process. And if you're lucky enough to be able to join us at 11 a.m. on our live call, you will also get to see how you can do this. Or you could even ask us to do this if you're too busy right now. Now, if you'd like me to send you the Zoom link, drop me a line below and I'll send it to you in a message, okay? And I will sign you up for Thursday's live call. Just as a reminder though, this call is going to have a recording, but it's going to be a paid product for later on. So we encourage you to be there. So if you want to watch this for free, be there on Thursday at 11. If you want to pay for it, just watch out for the product. Okay, cheerio.